Hello everybody and welcome back to Rigs of Rod's semi-realistic point series. My name is Preston Vieira and I'll be your host as we debut the international leg of the Golden Days Tour. Tonight we make our channel debut in Sydney, Australia in hopes of finding our Dubby racing and freestyle champions and finding out who of our Tryouts Tour competitors will make it back there next weekend. Don't forget, every truck and driver featured this season has at least one trading card design on Rorsrps.com. Head over there after the show to get your hands on a 7-pack of randomized Rorsrps Season 3 trading cards based on your requests and sign-ups. Lastly, this series is run 100% on engagement, so be sure not only to leave a like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you enjoy the show, but also leave your requests for trucks and tracks you want to see down in the comments below. We have new shows every Saturday and new opportunity for sign-ups every show on the Tryouts Tour. All right, intro is done. Time to get a look at tonight's Dubby racing bracket and see who's going head-to-head in round one. Kicking us off in the racing competition tonight, it's our season points leader, Alfredo Moya in Dragon, taking on Cole Pecka in Gravedigger 20. Then we got Jazir Hamlin in El Matador, taking on Matthew Hood in Bulldozer. Devyn Barber in Avenger is going to take on James Owens in Ballistic. Armando Castro and Toro Loco will face off against Colt Stevens in ThunderROARus. Then we got Shane Lake in Gravedigger, taking on Charlie Pauken in Nitro Machine. Dawson Rayas in Shake Me will face off against Giovanna Hayes in Megalodon Fire. Then it's Trevor Goldberg in Max D facing off against Lloyd Twitchell in Behind Bars. And closing out the first round, reigning racing champion here on Rorsrps, Josh Tonkin, son of a digger, will face off against Madusa. Of course, driving Madusa. We always got to throw the of course in there because it's only right. It only makes sense. Madusa is here. Madusa is driving. Alfredo here coming out first on your right in Dragon. He'll be facing off against Cole Pecka, picking up the sticks once again, this time driving Gravedigger 20. Last season, he was in Amsoil Shock Therapy. He managed to sign up and snag that Gravedigger 20 breakable truck on the left side of your screen. This time, though, he brings out the purple season design of that 30th anniversary Gravedigger truck. We'll see how that works for him here tonight. He has a tough draw here in round one. The reigning Tryouts Tour racing champion, Alfredo Moya in Dragon. This is going to be an interesting race to say the least. However, we know these Werewolf node beam trucks are just not necessarily in a positive way when you're going against V4s. They're just in a different category when it comes to the racing competition. Their setups are not necessarily as optimized as Alfredo Moya's Dragon truck. So we'll see what happens. We have a good idea of what might happen, but anything can happen out on the track. We're green for round one. Who's going to take it? Into our first turn, looking good for Alfredo Moya, nice and tight. Again, Cole Pecka out just a little bit wide. He may shine a little bit more in freestyle. Dennis burned it down last show on the Tryouts Tour. We'll see what happens for Cole tonight. Alfredo Moya in Dragon is on to round two of racing. We'll see Cole Pecka back for freestyle later on tonight. I have got a feeling with the run that Dennis laid down in Tampa, Cole does not want to slack, so we are going to see some action, to say the least, from that Werewolf no beam breakable truck. Jazir Hamlin in El Matador, MTMP Series on your right, taking on Matthew Hood in Bulldozer on your left. Jazir Hamlin is not new. He was here driving last show in Tampa. He is MTMP Series, but we managed to get his name a little late. Now we have it. It is updated. Jazir Hamlin looking to throw down a solid racing performance this time. He has a tough draw here. Again, another tough draw in round one. Matthew Hood, Bulldozer. This Bulldozer truck made it into the final round, took on Alfredo Moya in Tampa. We'll see what happens here tonight as we go green. Over the jump, it looks like the line might be a little uneven, but getting passes on both sides of the track kind of evens it out a little bit. Bulldozer was behind, Bulldozer is ahead now. It is kind of confusing. We will see how that works out throughout the rest of the night. Bulldozer is going to take it now, though. Jazir Hamlin clipping the turning obstacle, cutting that truck in just a little bit too tight there. He'll be back for freestyle, where he excels. here on the RORSRPS channel. A great bicycle there from Matthew Hood. I'm looking forward to his freestyle later on tonight as well. Of course, Matthew Hood was in Rage last season. Switching from Team Scream to Team Scream here. Devyn Barber in Avenger on your right, taking on James Owens in Ballistic. Ballistic had a great run in both racing and freestyle. Was one of the highest earning drivers last show in Tampa, Florida on the tryouts tour. Devyn Barber, on the other hand, not so much when it came from San Antonio 2 weeks ago here on the Golden Days tour. We'll see what happens here tonight. He's rocking that overcharged Avenger body, a brand new scheme to the RORSRPS channel, and 2 rigs of rods. Nobody has this one. This is just mine. We're green. Let's see what happens here as we take off here in round 1. Devyn a little wide through that first turn. Not great when it comes to James Owens. This Ballistic truck can definitely be fast. He made it up into the semifinals last show, and he's going to take it to round 2 here tonight. A close race there when it came down to the line for Devyn Barber, but James Owens manages to grab this spot first. We'll see him again in just a little bit. Devyn, we'll see all the way in freestyle. Stick around to the end of the video. Click that end card if you want to catch the freestyle competition and find out who's moving back over to the tryouts tour next week. Here comes Armando Castro repping a new body, the Burgundy El Toro on that 2025 3D model. Then we got Colt Stevens repping a new paint. He's been driving that red ThunderROARus all season so far. Now here in show 3 on the Golden Days tour, round 3 for the season, he brings out the classic, typical ThunderROARus. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do out here tonight. He's been pretty middle of the pack, I would say, but every show is a new show. I love that saying because it's just so true here on RORSRPS. We're green. Who's going to take it here in round 1? Great turns for both of these drivers. It is close to the line here. This is going to be an interesting race as we come to the finish line. A little wide for Colt Stevens and ThunderROARus. Can he come back to the line? No. Armando Castro by inches there to the line first. Armando Castro headed into round 2, taking on Ballistic, I believe. We'll see how that goes for him as we move on here in round 1. Shane Lake, the big dog, in Gravedigger 35 here on your right with another new scheme for the Golden Days tour, the classic 90s to early 2000s black roof. And then we got Charlie Pauken, of course, back behind the wheel of W.C.W. Nitro Machine. Nobody managed to sign up for this one. Same goes for Ballistic. Ballistic and Nitro Machine are up for grabs in signups tonight if they break that top 7. You got to remember that is a key caveat there. They need to break the top 7 in order to earn signups. We're going green here. Both trucks staged. There's the green light. Let's see who takes it to the line in round 1. 2 Gravedigger trucks going head to head here in round 1. The old Gravedigger 3 chassis. That might be a 5-second penalty there for W.C.W. Nitro Machine. Slow lap anyways, and clipping the car around that final turn. It is all Shane Lake in Gravedigger to the line first. We'll see him again in round 2. Of course, the reigning racing champion here on the Golden Days tour. We'll see what happens throughout the rest of the night. If he can grab another one, that would be awesome, man. Speaking of awesome, here's Dawson Rayas in Shake Me, that custom GMC body, taking on Giovanna Hayes, one-time World Racing Champion in Megalodon Fire. This is definitely set to be an interesting race here. Both of these drivers can be fast. Both of these drivers have taken wins in the racing competition throughout the regular season and in Season 2 just last season. We'll see if they can do it again here tonight. But we got a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of big names in the field tonight. It is going to be a tough battle, no matter who moves on here in round 1. We are staged and we're green. Who's going to take it? Into our first turn, looking good for both of these drivers. A little slide there from Giovanna Hayes. This final turn, Giovanna Hayes looking to make up some ground. It's not gonna happen. Dawson Rayas in Shake Me. Heading into round 2 tonight. A short-lived racing performance here for Giovanna in Sydney, Australia. We'll see what she does in freestyle. I am always looking forward to a Megalodon Fire freestyle. Coming out next, another new body debut. The 20th anniversary Max D scheme for Trevor Goldberg in that Max D truck. We'll be facing off against Lloyd Twitchell, back once again behind the wheel of Behind Bars. As I said, nobody signed up for this truck last week. If it breaks the top 7 here tonight, it will be available for signups. Do not miss your chance to sign up, guys. These trucks can be here one week and be gone the next. Don't want to miss out. Again, at the end of the night, meaning after freestyle, be on the lookout for those top 7 trucks. Both drivers staged and ready to go here. Who's going to take it to the line? We're green. Flipping that jammer, heading into the first turn. Lloyd Twitchell a little sloppy, but seems to have a even race going on right now. He's neck and neck with Trevor Goldberg as we come to the line. Trevor Goldberg grabs a big lead there over the finish line, and Trevor Goldberg in Max D will be moving on to round 2. Lloyd Twitchell gonna have to put that truck on hold until the freestyle competition. Here comes our reigning world racing champion from World Finals 2, Josh Tonkin, in Son of a Digger, taking on Madusa. Stay with me, of course, driving Madusa. Both of these drivers have taken spots in both seasons, both past seasons, now all 3 seasons. Madusa, though, had a main field spot in season 1, had a substitute spot in season 2. Now she's back in the main field after taking the Throwback Tour win in season 1. Josh Tonkin, a main field competitor in all 3, multiple world championships behind him. We're green. Is he going to do it again this year? Let's see what happens here tonight. Can he do it in Sydney, Australia first? Close one to the line there for both of these drivers. Around our final turn, Madusa nice and tight, but it doesn't matter. Josh Tonkin in Son of a Digger is on to round 2 to close out the first round. Madusa gonna have to wait until freestyle to earn some more points. Nice slap wheelie though, practice it for the freestyle competition. If you're enjoying tonight's show, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, let me know with a comment down below, and check out our RORSRPS Instagram. Also, mainly, more importantly, trading cards are available now on RORSRPS.com, and we just got a brand new shipment. All of our trucks that are available from round 2, are now here. Round 2 of racing, though. Alfredo Moya is going to take on Bulldozer. Rematch from Tampa, Ballistic versus El Toro Loco. Gravedigger versus Shake Me, and Max D will close out round 2 facing off against Son of a Digger. A couple great races here. Here is one of them. The rematch from Tampa, Florida, the final round. Matthew Hood in Bulldozer taking on Alfredo Moya in Dragon. Both of these drivers had a main field spot in season 2. Alfredo Moya was actually piloting this truck, Dragon. We'll see what happens as Matthew Hood is behind the wheel of a new truck. Gotta have a little bit of confidence knowing that this truck made it to the final round of racing in Tampa, Florida. He wants to do it again tonight, but he's gonna have to get past the reigning racing champion right now, Alfredo Moya. We're green already. I was gonna say we're staged. We're green for round 2. Nice and tight from Matthew Hood, looking good through that first turn and a nice easy lead early on in the race. Around that final turn, Alfredo Moya gonna grab a 5-second penalty. Matthew Hood in Bulldozer on to the semi-finals, knocking out his rival from Tampa, Florida. That is not the way Alfredo wanted to go out. He has not had much luck in the racing competition here on the Golden Days Tour. Unfortunate for sure. James Owens in Ballistic coming out next, though, taking on Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. This one's kind of up in the air for me. Armando has been great all season. We've only seen James Owens last show. So, I mean, he did pretty good over there. Like I said earlier, made it to the semifinals. He wants to do it again, this time getting up into the final round. It's definitely possible with what we saw from him in Tampa. Same could be said for Armando Castro, though. He's been on a roll this season so far. We're green. What can you do here in round 2 tonight? Do that first turn clean for both drivers, but James Owens nice and tight, bringing it right to the jump. All 4 tires up onto it, to the line here. Very, very close, but Armando Castro grabs it again by inches. You know what that means? It is a bull face-off in the semifinals. El Toro Loco will take on Bulldozer to find our first finalist here tonight. Shane Lake in Gravedigger is back once again. Like I said in round 1, looking for Racing Championship number 2. We know it's possible. He's the record holder for points in a single season. Dawson Rayas in Shake Me. A very close second for that record. Shane Lake pulled 203 points in Season 2. Dawson with 201 in Season 2. These two were neck and neck when it came down to the end of the season. Points were on par. We'll see what happens here tonight. We're staged and we're green for the rivalry face-off here in round 2. Beautifully done from both of these drivers in the first turn. Dawson Rayas with a little bit of a lead here. Bad bounce for Shane Lake. That might put him out of this race. He slides into that final corner. It is going to be Dawson Rayas in Shake Me as Shane Lake gets the save. Nicely done, man. A great save from the big dog. Dawson Rayas in Shake Me going into the semifinals, though. An unfortunate break here for Shane. We'll see what happens in freestyle. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Trevor Goldberg in Max D coming out on your right, taking on Josh Tonkin in Son of a Digger. 2 of our World Finals 2 world champions. Trevor in the 2-wheel skills competition. Josh Tonkin in the racing competition. And, I mean, let's talk about it. In Season 1, he was the 2-wheel skills champion as well. So he's one up on Trevor Goldberg right now, and he has the fastest qualifier spot from last season in the World Finals. So we'll see what happens here as we go green. We're closing out round 2, guys. This is going to be an interesting race for sure. Swinging it out wide, Trevor Goldberg trying to get a nice clean jump here and lead into this second turn. Josh Tonkin looking fast, though. I don't know who's going to take it to the line. An extremely close one once again, but with the speed, the Max D slingshot, the trademark of the Mints racing style. Trevor Goldberg moving on to the semi-finals tonight, knocking out Josh Tonkin by inches there. Let's get a look at our bracket. Bulldozer will face off against El Toro Loco, and Shake Me is going to take on Max D to close out the semifinals. This is awesome, man. And if you don't know, Shake Me is the original mud truck that Tom Mintz got started with back in the day, his entry into professional motorsports, I guess you could say. Shake Me is the name of Dawson's truck, and Trevor in Max D is going to face off against Shake Me. That's interesting. Bulldozer on your right, Matthew Hood. Armando Castro, El Toro Loco on your left. Both of these drivers have been incredible in their racing performances from what we've seen so far from each of them this season. Matthew Hood, of course, newer, but he's doing great here tonight. We're staged, we're green. Who's going to take it to the line here for our first race in the semis? Armando super tight around that first turn. Is it going to pay off, though, is the question. Matthew Hood sliding in. Armando clips the turning car. It is all Matthew Hood there. Over the line first, Matthew Hood in Bulldozer. On to round 4, the final round, our Dubby. Final round, looking for, oh no! Oh no. Armando trying to do what Matthew Hood did earlier tonight. Not going to work out for you this time, buddy. Armando, real life 2-wheel skills champ, lays her down here in the semifinals. Next up, though, Dawson Rayas in Shake Me. He's going to be on your right, facing off against Trevor Goldberg in Max D. I already said it. Shake Me, Max D. The correlation is there. Now they're facing off here in the semifinals. They faced off last show too, if I'm remembering correctly. They took each other on in round 1 of racing. They kicked off the night facing off, and I didn't make the correlation then, but I got it fresh in my brain right now for some reason, so you guys get to hear all about it. Trevor Goldberg staged and ready to go, just waiting on the mind games to end from Dawson Rayas. We'll see if they pay off here in the semifinals. We're green to close it out. Through that first turn, looking great for Dawson Rayas right now. Trevor Goldberg making that slingshot work for him once again. Can he do it around the final turn? Over the line, it is close. Wow. The Max D races have been really close tonight, but this time it doesn't pay off for Trevor. Dawson Rayas in Shake Me is on to the Dubby final round here in Sydney, Australia. Max D goes down in the semifinals. We'll see him in freestyle later on. Your Dubby final round matchup is here though. Bulldozer Matthew Hood will face off against Dawson Rayas in Shake Me. Here they come. You can feel the energy here in Sydney, Australia. And yep, speaking of energy, Dubby Energy is the channel partner, and they fuel everything here 100% every day, from editing to commentary to recording the runs. This is a Dubby Energy channel for sure. My flavor of the day. Again, guys, I'm sorry. I skip the weekends and it sets me up right back for it. It's the mystery flavor, cherry lollipop, but it's delicious, guys. It's really growing on me. It is very sweet, but it's good. And check them out at dubby.gg for all their other flavors, both on social media or on the internet. Again, dubby.gg. Use code RORSRPS for 10% off. They are sugar-free, artificial dye-free, no fillers, none of that. Just pure deliciousness and energy and hydration if you're not into caffeine. But we're staged in green for the Dubby final round. Dawson Rayas versus Matthew Hood into the first turn. Matthew Hood out just a little bit wide there. Will it matter as we come to the finish line, clipping that turning obstacle for Dawson Rayas? He's going to take the win here in Sydney, Australia. Dawson Rayas in Shake Me is your Dubby Racing champion here in ANZ Stadium now, currently Accor Stadium. But hey, nonetheless, no matter what it's called, he grabs the win. Only one racing champion will be crowned tonight, and that is Dawson Rayas in Shake Me. Curious to see if he can pull off the Dubby double down. He's pretty sure he did it once last season on the Indy Madness tour. So we'll see if he can potentially do it again, potentially do it for the first time. I got to brush up on my season 2 stats, but you know, I'm already recording. It's too late. Dawson Rayas going freestyling here to celebrate his racing win, his Dubby Racing Championship tonight. We'll see what happens for the rest of the night. He's going to pull up right on top of the bus stack and give us a great look at that custom Shake Me truck before it gets destroyed later on in freestyle. You know Dawson Rayas knows how to throw down and destroy his trucks. So we'll see just how he does that later on tonight. Man, that thing is pretty. Patting myself on the back. I love that paint, man. Dawson Rayas, one last time, your Dubby Racing champion here in Australia. Dragon finishes tonight with 86 points total. Shake Me in second with 56. El Toro Loco with 51. And Trevor Goldberg and Max D with 50. Shane Lake with 37. Jasir Hamlin and El Matador with 35. Devyn Barber and Avenger with 31. And Matthew Hood and Bulldozer with 28. Josh Tonkin and Son of a Digger with 27. Colt Stevens 24. Giovanna Hayes with 17. And Madusa with 15. James Owens and Ballistic with 14. Cole Pecka with 11. Lloyd Twitchell and Behind Bars with 9. And Charlie Pauken at the bottom spot right now with W.C.W Nitro Machine. He only has 8 points to his name right now. But if you enjoyed tonight's episode, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know with a comment down below. We got freestyle coming up in just a minute, so click on that end card. Do not miss it. This is going to be an action-packed night as always. Also, check out RORSRPS on Instagram and check out RORSRPS.com for our RORSRPS merch, mainly, most importantly, our RORSRPS trading cards. If you requested a truck this season and it was featured here on the channel, it has a trading card. If you signed up as a driver and you are featured this season, you have a trading card. So do not miss out. Do not miss out on Dubby's limited time energy flavors as well. They have a lot going on right now, including their summertime s'mores flavor, the only energy powder with a s'mores flavor. Do not miss out on that one. I'm sure it's limited time. You do not want to miss it. Palm Blom is almost gone, guys. It is on its last leg. It will be gone soon. Try it while you can. Code RORSRPS for 10% off at W.C.W. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to Racing. Freestyle is coming at you right now. I'll see you there.